This short film starts with a lovely song playing, accompanied by a montage of pictures featuring a young couple. The pictures capture their joyful moments and adventures together, showcasing their happiness. Next, we see the couple, Borja and Sara, in their bedroom. Borja is focused on his work while Sara is peacefully lying next to him. Suddenly, she surprises Borja by asking if he would be interested in meeting her parents. Caught off guard, Borja's face reveals his hesitation and Sara notices it. She confronts him about his strange expression, concerned about his reaction. Despite his initial reluctance, Borja eventually agrees to meet Sara's parents. However, Borja tries to express his discomfort by mentioning that he doesn't enjoy being in dull environments. Unfortunately, his words come across as insensitive and Sara gets upset with him. She leaves the room but not before informing Borja that they will be having dinner at her parents' house the next day. Before she leaves, Borja tries to gather more information about her parents, asking Sara what they are like. In response, she assures him that they are genuine and authentic, and she believes he will enjoy their company. Confused, Borja continues doing his work, feeling nervous about what will happen when he meets Sara's parents the next day. The following morning, Sara and Borja can be seen standing in front of Sara's parents' house, ready to go inside. Nervous, Borja takes out a packet of cigarettes to smoke, but his girlfriend asks him to stop doing so. Right then, Sara's father walks out of the house to welcome the couple. To Borja's surprise, he is wearing a weird full-face covering yellow mask and hugs his daughter with great happiness. Borja hides the cigarette and approaches Sara, where she introduces him to her father. Adding to his dismay, Sara does not find anything weird on his father's face and simply asks him to come inside the house. Despite feeling weird, Borja has no choice other than to obey her and follow her inside the house. The situation becomes more complex as Borja observes Sara's parents wearing matching masks. Sara introduces Borja to her mother, who warmly kisses him on the forehead and invites him to take a seat and make himself comfortable. Sara then suggests that Borja join her father in the living room to watch television together. With curiosity, Borja glances around the house as he approaches Sara's father, who is engrossed in reading a newspaper and watching the news about human authenticity and building trust. Sara's father kindly cleans the couch for Borja and signals for him to sit beside him. Respecting his gesture, Borja hesitantly takes a seat and tries to get a closer look at Sara's father. He then unwillingly looks at the news channel running on the television. Just then, Pedro, Sara's younger brother, wearing a similar yellow smiley face mask, joins them and pushes Borja aside to sit on the couch. Without reacting, Borja allows Pedro to take his place and introduces himself with a handshake. Although he does shake his hand, Pedro does not reply to the conversation attempt and just sits idle, ignoring Borja. They then watch a program that promises to uncover the secrets of the universe together. During the program, Borja takes out his phone and starts scrolling through social media. Noticing this, both Sara's father and brother try to sneak a peek at his screen. Borja feels uncomfortable, but when he looks at them, they quickly back off and pretend to ignore him. Borja puts his phone back in his pocket and attempts to strike up a conversation with Pedro again, asking about a football match involving Real Madrid. Disappointingly, Pedro remains silent and sits idle on the couch. Suddenly, Sara's mother calls out from the kitchen, urging the boys to turn off the television and join them for dinner. Upon hearing this, Sara's father promptly switches off the TV and he, along with Pedro, heads to the kitchen where Sara and her mother have prepared a delicious meal. With hesitation, Borja also stands up and makes his way to the kitchen. In the kitchen, everybody gathers around the dining table. As Borja prepares to take a seat, Sara's father pulls out a chair for him as a kind gesture and pats him on the shoulder. Then he proceeds to serve the soup from an unusual-looking vessel. Intrigued by the sight of Sara's family members wearing masks, Borja can't help but look at them intently. However, Sara notices his curiosity and interrupts, asking if he's okay. Taking this opportunity, Borja inquires about the reason behind her family members wearing masks even during dinner. Sara simply smiles and clarifies that they are not actually masks, leaving him confused. Soon, everyone begins enjoying their meal except for Borja, who finds himself watching Sara's parents and brother with surprise. They playfully throw food and pour it over their masks, creating a bit of a mess. Sara, noticing Borja's uneasiness, asks him what's wrong. She then playfully tells her parents that Borja is usually not so quiet, but today he seems shy. Borja, trying to lighten the mood, jokes that everyone present is being a bit quiet and shy. This earns him a hearty chuckle from Sara's parents. To ease the tension, Sara suggests that Borja share some information about himself and his occupation. Borja mentions that he works with his father and is an actor. He expresses his love for acting and talks about the numerous auditions and play invitations he has been receiving. Furthermore, he reveals that he enjoys writing plays in his free time and takes pleasure in creating new stories. Unfortunately, Sara's parents don't react to his stories and continue with their meal. Borja also decides to go with the flow and tastes the soup for the first time, finding it delicious. He compliments the soup, expressing his love for cooking and experimenting with different flavors. Sara playfully objects to his comment, making faces. Borja notices this and jokingly suggests she refrain from doing so, as she enjoys every food he makes. When the atmosphere lightens, Borja impulsively asks Sara's parents if she is adopted, noting that she looks different from them. As soon as he says so, the room falls into silence, and everyone stares at Borja. Trying to defend himself, he points out that Sara's facial features don't match those of her parents. Sara then looks at him for a while, and in a sudden turn, she grabs a knife, asking Borja if he really wants to see her real face. She then puts the knife to her face and challenges Borja to look at her. Alarmed, Borja tries to stop her from harming herself, but Sara disregards his pleas and cuts deeply into her own cheeks. Overwhelmed, Borja stands up to intervene, but Sara's family members restrain him, forcing him to witness the disturbing scene unfold. Sara proceeds to insert her finger into the sliced flesh and begins peeling it back, revealing a yellow mask hidden beneath. Unable to bear the sight, Borja turns his head to the other side. Sara continues to remove the skin, unveiling her true face, which bears a resemblance to her family members' yellow masks. Her father turns Borja's face toward her, compelling him to confront the reality of his daughter's identity. Suddenly, Sara declares herself an authentic piece and insists that Borja should experience the same. Shocked, Borja refuses, but Sara persists. With her family members tightly holding Borja, she starts cutting into his face. Borja screams in agony, but the family continues peeling off his facial skin. In the final scene, Sara, saddened by the revelation that Borja isn't an authentic being like her family, receives consolation from her family. Her mother assures her that she will eventually find another suitable partner, just as she found Sara's father after a long struggle. The short film concludes with Sara's brother capturing a photograph of Borja's lifeless body lying on the floor, his face completely disfigured and his eyes bulging out. And that's a wrap for this movie recap. Thanks for watching.